Hey there traders, and welcome back for episode number 123 from thestockbandit.tv. Glad you joined me for this episode. So we're going to take a look at the major averages as we head into a holiday shortened trading week. Keep in mind that the market will be closed on Friday for the Good Friday holiday. So we've got 4 days to make it count. So let's get to work. Up first is the NASDAQ. And as you see, the uptrend is still intact, not only from all the way back to March of 2009, but obviously still in the very short term. Off the February lows, this market has just been on a tear. It's been running higher. We've seen nothing but this brief period of rest. We've seen virtually no pullback at all, and that's still intact. And so last week we did see our first 3-day decline here on the NASDAQ. Now technically all we did give back was just a few points from here's Tuesday's close, and then Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday finished about in the same level. But each of those days were slight decline. So we saw our first 3-day decline going back all the way to January. So it's certainly not a bearish event in itself, especially given the fact that we're still well above this uptrend line from the February lows. So as we head into this week ahead, I'm looking at 2 key levels here for the NASDAQ. Up first, the high set last week, which was on Thursday. That was at the 2432 level. And then of course we've got this uptrend line from the February low. Currently that's about the 2360 level. So I'm looking at those two zones right here, and I would not be surprised to see this index stay between those two levels just for the next few days. But if we do happen to edge higher and start to challenge these highs, keep a close eye on how the market behaves and see if momentum is gained, or if instead we see strength get sold the way that we did on Thursday with that big downside reversal. On the S&P 500, this index is also acting very well, although it's really been moving sideways here now for almost 2 weeks. So still in very good shape, still a good distance above this rising trend line here. I'm looking at two zones. This rising trend line is right here about this 1152 area, which coincides nicely with the January highs, which was 1150. So if we do happen to pull back, I would expect to see this 1150 zone get defended on those two fronts right there. So this uptrend line has been providing support each time it's been met. If we do happen to slide a little further, look for some buyers or some short covering to possibly take place in that 1150 zone. If not, then we may finally get a break of this rising trend line. But for now, we've got pretty good room here. So let's see how the week unfolds. To the top side, we've got this high set last Thursday, which is the 1180 zone. So I'm going to be keeping an eye on this range between 1150 and 1180 in the week ahead. Finally, for the Dow, saw this index top out at 10,955 on Thursday. So it did stop shy of the 11,000 mark. Again, nothing real technical there at 11,000. It's just a psychological level, if anything. But we did see the January highs at the 10,729 zone, and currently that's really coinciding with this uptrend line from the February low. So if we do happen to pull back to this 10,700 area, give or take, then look to see possibly if this uptrend line gets defended once again. If we do turn higher, keep a close eye on Thursday's high at 10,955. So that's what the indices look like. Now, one more thing I do want to mention to you is I'll be doing a webinar on Tuesday night with the fine folks over at Worden. So you can head to the blog, thestockbandit.net, and you can click a link there to get registered for the webinar. It is a free webinar Tuesday evening. Even if you're unable to attend, if you do register, you will be able to access the recorded version of that. So I'm going to be looking through a number of setups of individual stocks, and you'll kind of get a peek over my shoulder at what I'm looking to trade. Generally, these free videos, I go through the indices on the weekends, but for the members at thestockbandit.com, I'm always going through individual names and showing you what I'm trading in the days ahead. So Tuesday will be a good glimpse at that. It's going to be a 30-minute webinar with 15 minutes of Q&A, so hope you'll be able to join me for that. Other than that, thank you for joining me for this episode. I will be back soon with more videos, but in the meantime, trade like a bandit.